Hi guys, OB Dave here.
And I am Ash.
Together we are OB Dave and I'm Ash.
With a new angle.
It's a slight new angle. I've had a nightmare this week. We didn't release a YouTube video last night, or the night before, depending on when you're watching this.
We haven't done Bake Off.
We've not done Bake Off. We do full episode watch-alongs of Great British Bake Off over on Patreon.
Sunny.
And we do Always Sunny in Philadelphia on Saturdays as well. Bake Off is going to be a day late, unfortunately. I bought an off-the-shelf PC.
Although, looking at the time, probably much later. I'm sorry, babe.
No, it's tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll just stay up however late it takes.
Okay.
Just get it done. I bought an off-the-shelf PC, a HP Omen, a couple of years ago. That it was during the GPU shortage, and it had a great GPU in it, great spec. And I was using it for a bit, and then it just started popping and cutting out.
And you guys know from the journey that we then had to go to the archaic way of filming, and we couldn't work out what was going on. We tried everything.
I used to do the camera straight into OBS and the screen record into OBS. Everything worked fine, minimal editing. Mm-hmm. And then it just started cutting out, doing weird stuff. So we record straight onto the DSLR and glue it all together at the end, which
it's a lot of work for you, yeah.
It is, but fingers crossed, this absolute nightmare I've had where I had the wrong motherboard, some things didn't fit. Now there's no Wi-Fi on the PC, blah, blah, blah.
There is a spare dongle in the PC, my old PC in the loft. And I promise you, it's actually a really good Wi-Fi dongle because it's an old PC. My brother and a friend of mine built it like 12, 13 years ago.
Well, I'll do something, but either way, I've also rolled back to Windows 10 because Windows 11 was causing issues. And my last little moan is if you've got Windows 11 out there and you don't use BitLocker, which I don't because I've got nothing on there I need to encrypt. If you take your hard drive out and put it in another PC,
locks.
You need your BitLocker ID linked to your Microsoft account, even if you don't use BitLocker.
It's true.
And I've just had to wipe the whole hard drive.
It basically encrypts your hard drive, and I get it. It's
if you switch it on, yeah, great. Awesome.
It's so that you can't share software that you haven't licensed and paid for. It's basically these companies are getting smarter at isolating their products and making you pay for everything.
BitLocker's more for, if you're using your laptop for work reasons or something, it can encrypt everything. Like I'd imagine your work laptop uses BitLocker.
It would be on personal, it shouldn't be installed on personal drives, not for the general public.
No, I agree. It should be there as an option.
Anyway.
Yeah. Fired up. Right then, happy Halloween.
Hello.
Because this is going to come out on the 31st.
It's spoopy season.
Spoopy season, apparently. A savagely festive company, Spirit Halloween.
Is this the Fat Electrician or Fat Files?
This is Fat Files. And it looks like he's tidied up his studio as well. Wasn't there loads more stuff behind him?
Looks like he's moving. Because look at the piles of the soundproofing boards. So maybe he's moving house.
Let's find out. A savagely festive company, Spirit Halloween.
Nice.
Play.
All right, it's October, meaning we've got about 45 seconds until we're all bombarded by the sounds of children crying and in-laws complaining, all while Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You, sings in the background for the next 2 months of our lives, just completely unable to hear our own thoughts.
Yep.
But in the meantime, today we're talking about Spirit Halloween. The Halloween store that pops up in the abandoned Kmart every year and sells a bunch of single-use costumes that have funky names because they don't want to actually pay for a license for a famous character. That place. All right, just so we're on the same page, it's going to sound...
Yeah, it said totally MILF.
Yeah, there was also... let's go back and see them.
Upset Fireman. That's from...
Drill Sergeant.
I was going to say...
Mexican podcaster.
Don't know.
It's one of the...
It's
one of the guys that does the podcast with him, Donut.
Yeah.
There's Donut.
Yeah, there's Donut.
Totally not gay couple, Donut and Brandon.
Oh, wait. Was the other one Demo Ranch?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
I thought it was. House MILF.
That's Fat Electrician's wife.
That is. There's, Average Iowan. That is...
That's Demo Ranch, isn't
That's
it?
Demo Ranch, for sure.
Nice.
And it's not Matt Carricker specifically, but it looks like him.
That place. All right, just so we're on the same page,
not my
it's going to
character.
sound like I'm talking smack about Spirit Halloween a lot throughout this video. I'm not, okay? A, I respect the hustle. B, I'm absolutely fascinated with how savage this business model actually is. Speaking of business, let's go ahead and get this ad out of the way.
And now a word from our sponsor, Delete Me.
Delete me! Did I do it right?
No, you were supposed to walk from the other side of the room just like I had to.
Work smarter, not harder.
This is why I never finish.
I heard that.
You forgot the light.
Oh, hey. Thanks. Anyways, Delete Me. Super straightforward business. You give them money, they turn around and they make sure the data brokers aren't selling your personal information on the internet. So here's how this happens. Pretty much anytime you use a free app or internet service, that app or service isn't actually free. What they're doing is they're harvesting your personal information, then they turn around, they sell it to data brokers, and then the data brokers sell it to anybody that has money. The good news is these data brokers are legally required to stop selling your personal information if you formally ask them to. The problem is there's a bunch of different data brokers and they all have a different process for you to formally request that they quit selling your information. That's where Delete Me comes in. Delete Me monitors all the biggest data brokers for your personal information, and as soon as it comes up for sale, they automatically write in and have them take it down as soon as possible. And then as long as you're subscribed to Delete Me, they will continue to monitor, checking and rechecking for your
my passwords every so often. My brother got me a password locker or something, and it's like a 3-step like access, because everybody forgets their passwords these days because we've got so many of them, and then like a password generator, so it just creates me a whole bunch of weird new passwords.
Are we back? I was just going to say, just make sure that when you're doing some prawn searches, just search for like 9 different categories that you don't actually like, and just keep all these companies confused, because they're mining your data from those websites.
So I always go for the romantic, passionate ones.
Really?
Mm-hmm. The realistic looking ones. I don't get all the storylines. No one cares. Just do it.
So how's that the romantic, passionate one?
Because it's like the girlfriend waking the boyfriend up and,
Stepson waking the stepmom up.
No, weird.
All right, our story begins in the early 1980s with the founder of Spirit Halloween, a guy by the name of Joe Marver. And no, I'm not about to tell you the story about some dude that grew up and his favorite holiday was Halloween and he wanted to run a costume store and he overcame adversity to run the biggest costume store in the world. No, he was running a normal brick and mortar women's apparel store known as Spirit Women's Discount Apparel. And then one October in like 1981, 1982, there was this locally owned pop-up Halloween store that would go into the empty business right next door to him. And he noticed that they were getting more traffic and more customers in that single month than he was getting all year long. And Joe, being an entrepreneur, immediately recognizes how brilliant this business strategy actually is, because a significant portion of the revenue that a company makes during the entire year is actually made just during the holiday season, right? It's the end of the year. It's the playoffs. It's the Super Bowl. It's where you're getting the most bang for your buck.
Tis the season to be merry.
Well, that's my name.
Oh, shit.
And this Halloween store is essentially skipping all the regular season games and just showing up straight to the playoffs like it's a championship, making a ton of money, and then dipping out and taking the other 10 months of the year off. It's brilliant. Now that in itself is enough, but then you look at what these Halloween stores are selling and it makes it that much more appealing because they have extremely low expectations, right? This is basically a single serving Halloween costume, right? Nobody needs to be dressing up like a slutty nurse multiple times. This costume needs to function for like the 4 to 6 hours that you're going to be wearing it during Halloween, and then you're going to throw it in the trash. And guess what? Because you're only wearing that costume for one night, you don't really care if it's comfortable. You don't really care if it fits that great. Just the standard for the product that they have to sell, there is no standard. The bar for that is in hell. Okay, nobody cares. Everybody that goes into a Spirit Halloween knows beyond the shadow of a doubt they're basically buying garbage.
Spudnik.
Wow, I don't have the worst costume anymore.
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that because everybody knows exactly what they're getting into, okay? It's like Little Caesars Pizza, right? What's their slogan? Hot and ready. Is it good pizza?
like
Motherfucker,
it.
it's hot and it's ready and it costs $5. Do you want it or not? You know what you're getting into. And I know what you're thinking. What about Karen, right? We all have that one aunt. Our mom has that one friend. We all know that woman that has the audacity to go to a restaurant, eat the entire entree, and then bitch that it wasn't cooked right, trying to get a discount, if not get the entire thing for free. That's the beauty of the entire thing. The entire business model has anti-Karen technology integrated right in, right? Because guess what? You can't be dissatisfied with how your Halloween costume performed until after Halloween. And guess what's going to happen after Halloween when Karen rolls up in her white Suburban ready to berate a bunch of retail workers about how itchy little Timmy's
You know
eggs
what I'm not sure about with this is we've got the Consumer Rights Act, which means that after purchase of a product, you've got 30 days to return it.
No.
Yeah.
They can factor in like no returns because it's discounted. It's like, on sale items, they make it clear that there's no discount options.
Proper shops, even if it's discounted, have to offer that.
But it's also the US. They have different trading laws to us.
No, I get that, but I'm saying we have the Consumer Rights Act. So if we opened up a shop and people 2 days before Halloween were buying items and then the shop is gone but the company still exists, you'd still be able to return the product legally.
I've never heard of that.
You just wouldn't have a storefront to do it to. You get a year warranty.
Well, you have to be a registered business. So you have to have a registered address. But then we had that with Facebook, and they registered to an empty building. So how do you?
Well, this is obviously like a multi. I don't know, hundreds.
Well,
of
yeah,
millions
he's the way he's talking about it. It's obviously a
huge,
reoccurring thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But the trading laws are very different in America, so I don't know.
Let us know on that one, because in this country, if you're still going as a company, there needs to be a forwarding address or something that you could send your products back to for a full refund, as long as they're not used, or there's other stipulations.
But there's also the 14-day return, and most people buy their outfits, like you're saying, like maybe like a week or so before Halloween, then you wear it, and then it's finding the time to then get back and return it, and you've lost that for 14 days. I suppose
it's probably cheap enough that you're not going to return it anyway.
Yeah,
you just accept
I would imagine so. You just go, well.
Yeah.
Is after wearing his fucking costume. Nothing's gonna happen because it's an empty fucking building now. They're gone.
Sorry.
These temporary Halloween stores literally get to roll up during the holiday season, the busiest, most profitable time of the year, and open a new store, increasing traffic because everybody wants to go check out the new store, and they open it under the pretenses that they're having a going out of business sale, which also increases the amount of foot traffic and people that want to go to this store. And then they make all their money and then they fucking dip. It's absolutely brilliant. It's so good. It feels like it's a bank heist, but it's completely above the table and fair game. So Joe, being an entrepreneur, recognizes this and is like, yo,
it's just reminding me of something. You know where pumpkin carving comes from?
No.
Like Halloween's huge in America. In the UK, it's not so big.
No, it's not really a thing over here.
Yeah, like kids have Halloween discos or stuff, but like trick or treat.
Bonfire night's bigger here for us.
Bonfire night's bigger, where we celebrate someone trying to blow up the Houses of Parliament.
Pretty much. The little man trying to take over the politicians.
Yeah, but Halloween isn't really like kids don't trick or treat that much.
No, it's usually in like close knit communities where everybody knows everybody.
So do you know where pumpkin carving came from?
Was it pagans?
Ireland.
Ireland?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and originally it was turnips that they used instead of pumpkins.
That's some hard work carving into some turnips.
Yeah. Yeah, and not that long ago either. But then it was the Irish immigrants that went over to America that brought the turnip carving, which then became pumpkin carving. I listened to someone tell the whole story of it the other day.
Crazy.
It was cool.
I'm sure there's like a fact about Christmas trees, wasn't it? The pine tree was a gift to one of our royals, and then they put candles on it, and it became the tradition.
I always thought it came from Germanic tribes, and it was a pagan thing where essentially like Christmas was morphed into the same date as a pagan festival, that the Christmas trees were already a thing, so that people would convert and people were already celebrating on a certain date a pagan festival. And then, like, they made Christmas on that same date, so it was... Do you know what I mean?
No, I think a lot of these match days where you say, like, Christmas was matched to the pagan, I think it was to appease the pagan community, because when Catholicism and Christianity was coming to the country,
They
because
butchered
it's
all
like
the
how
pagans.
I know, but not all of them. They still had some that they sort of kept happy.
It was convert or die.
Not what I remember.
That's what
From
Christianity was when it came here. That's why
Not
they killed
all
all
of
the
it.
gingers, because they associated gingers with being pagans.
Not all
So
of
that's
it.
why gingers went to the
Oh.
extremes of Scotland and Ireland.
You're such a liar.
That's true.
No,
That's true.
no,
It is.
I don't believe you.
The Romans came, brought Christianity, and tried to kill all the pagans because you either had to be a Christian or
I thought
no bueno.
no. I don't.
Yeah.
I thought there was already no.
The Romans brought Christianity.
Maybe we need to watch a YouTube video on it.
Or just everyone argue in the comments.
So good, it feels like it's a bank heist, but it's completely above the table and fair game. So Joe, being an entrepreneur, recognizes this and is like, yo, I'm gonna do that from now on. And in 1983, he converts Spirit Women's Discount Apparel into Spirit Halloween. He makes over 6 figures in like 6 weeks. And then he's like, yeah, I'm doing this from now on. From there, every year he opens up more and more Spirit Halloween stores in his region. And then by the 1990s, he's operating like 60 stores every single year. And
Nice.
in 1999, he actually gets bought out by Spencer's Gifts. From there, he kind of becomes a CEO for a little bit. Now I still believe he sits on the board, but from here is where things really start to take off for the company and they get absolutely huge. Fast forward to 2024, they're operating 1,500 of these stores all over the country.
Wow.
And they're not just like small retail places on Main Street in small town America. No, these are like abandoned Kmarts that are at least 10,000 square feet or more. Okay, I'm gonna say that a little bit slower because I don't feel like you're picking up what I'm putting down, okay? Spirit Halloween manages to open, operate, and close down 1,500 10,000
crazy.
square foot retail spaces in the span of 8 to 6 weeks. Okay, do you understand how fucking crazy that is? Spirit Halloween has some of the best logistical capabilities of any entity on the planet. Off the top of my head, the only
Yeah.
ones that are competing with Spirit Halloween are like the United States military and Amazon Prime. That's it. Those are the only people that have better logistics than this fucking Halloween store. And what's crazy is there's still an even more impressive aspect to this business because most of their full-time employees are on this realty team, and this realty team goes around and gets all the leases for these 1,500 locations, right? Do you understand the ability of those realtors to close a deal? It's absolutely insane. Just so we're all on the same page, these realtors' full-time job is to track down and find companies that have gone out of business and still have their retail space. And then they roll up being like, hey, I work for Spirit Halloween. Here's my business card. You like that? That logo of the Grim Reaper as I'm coming to visit you after your business just died? By the way, that's not the Grim Reaper. That's Jack the Reaper. It's a play on Jack the Ripper. Haha, puns. Anyways, sorry your business just died, but I had an interesting proposal. What if I throw a Halloween party inside of its corpse? It's literally the commercial realist.
That's the American, isn't it? What's it called? No, it's American
American
Psycho.
Psycho.
Do you know
Yeah.
what? That is such a great film.
I've only watched it once. I really enjoyed it, but it was years ago.
It's so good. It's so creepy. But it's the obsession with the embossed cards and like the way he goes on in his mind. It's like, but the thing I love the most about it is obviously I suffer OCD and I've had therapy and stuff, but his way of thinking is very much how I think, just not to his level.
I actually made that joke this weekend to someone
Or did you?
that like I went to a funeral of people like friends I've had for 20 years and not seen some of them for a long time, and you know they'd never met Ash before, obviously.
No.
And one of them was like, "Oh, at the end, you two are such a great couple. You know, you really sort of gel with each other." And I was like, "It's because we're on the same bit of the spectrum as each other, and we're both psychos."
It's true.
And then I went, "Bye," and walked off like that. And because I'd had quite a few beers, I was like just taking the mickey. And then like I've thought about it every day since.
Have you really?
I really have, because I'm just like, we're not psychos, but
I mean, I
like
am.
you're obsessive compulsive.
Yes.
You do have empathy and you're not a psychopath. But both of us are a bit kind of like do what needs to be done people,
Yeah.
which maybe compared to some of the people we were with is a bit psycho-y.
It's a bit psycho-y.
But we're not. But it's one of them where I'm like, you know, you don't know if a joke's landed or not because you're a
just
bit
walked
drunk
away.
and you just walk away. I've been thinking about it every day.
That's funny. You didn't mention it in the car, though.
It was one of the last things I
It's a
said.
really long drive back.
Like,
And
yeah.
Dave is very mushy when he's drunk.
True.
I love you. I appreciate
Oh,
you.
shut up.
Equivalent of like donating your body to science, right? They're just rolling up to old Best Buys and Kmart's like, hey, you're not selling flat screens in here anymore. Let me get some animatronic skeletons and shit in here. Sell some fake blood, you know? Why not? The entire business model is hilarious because it seems like this savage cutthroat business model, but actually literally nobody's getting hurt because it's like, what else are you going to do with that empty retail space? You know what I mean? Like you get to make a couple of bucks. All the people in town get to drag their little 3 to 5 year old kids to see the haunted house while they buy their Halloween costume. And then they fuck off till next year. Like there's no losers in the entire equation. And it shows because they are making a ton of money in a 6-week span. Last year, they made $1.1 billion in 6 weeks. Okay. That's like $23 million a day. That's $220,000 per employee. Now, granted, that's revenue, not profit. I'm sure they have a ton of overhead on top of that, but it's still impressive that they're making $1.1 billion in 6 weeks. A couple of other interesting things about Halloween. They absolutely do not like being made fun of. How do I know this? Well, because the infamous Saturday Night Live skit where they did like a 3-minute bit making fun of Spirit Halloween, and then Spirit Halloween retaliated by tweeting this. I wonder if they're going to make a fat electrician costume next. You know what? I'll do it.
I'm a piece of fucking white trash. I say it proudly. Here, tell these people something they don't know about me.
All right, let's end this on the high note. Spirit of Halloween, in addition to making a ton of money, also runs a children's charity known as Spirit of Children. And since 2006, they have raised over $146 million, as well as provided all the costumes and necessities for these children's hospitals to be able to throw Halloween parties every single year. So in conclusion, that is Spirit Halloween, probably the most wholesomely savage company on the planet. They literally show up with their Grim Reaper logo, offer to throw a Halloween party in the ruins of your failed business, make a ton of money, and then dip out before Karen can show up wanting to return the product. And then they donate a bunch of money to children's hospitals and then get ready to do it all over again next year. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang out.
Nice.
I wonder how much money Mariah Carey makes in royalties every single holiday season.
$3 million.
Holy shit.
When I used to be at the Office Blokes, I used to say we need a Christmas single. Like, we need a stupid, like...
Beard tried a Christmas single.
Yeah,
and then we had
Beard
a British couple over here that was, like, the original big YouTubers. Lad Baby. And they got a Christmas single.
3 years on the bounce, Christmas #1.
I know. I don't see us doing that.
No, not us, not me and you.
I was going to say.
I wanted to do it with them thinking it'd be funny, but then it just turned out that, like, there was zero motivation, musical talent, or anything from... other people, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm not going to do it then.
I mean, we could try.
Nah.
But I am not a singer. I mean, you all like my theme tune, but that's not really singing.
No.
And if, like, I see Dave cringing when I'm singing in the car.
That's your driving, not your singing. Right then, I hope you guys enjoyed that too. I liked that. I thought the kids' charity thing was great touch as well.
Tell us if he is moving or if he's just rearranging, because it looks like he is emptying that place out.
Yeah. Right, nice one. We will see you on the next one, guys. Cheers.
Okay.